Good day, people. As you can see, we're in a different shop than normal. We're not outside, we're not in the other one. I'm going to do something a little different today. I tempered the blades last night that we were working on. Once I upload the heat treat video, you'll know what I'm talking about. I've got one still in the oven. I put it back in probably about 20 minutes ago to see if I can straighten out the warp that it had. I should be able to get that one out. Two of the other ones are fine. They were straight except for a little bit on the tang itself. That's not a big deal. I can work with that. I'm not really worried about it. The larger kitchen blade looks like it might have a small warp to it, so I might have to check that. We'll see once I start cleaning it up, getting the work done to it. The other piece, if this goes up before I post the other one, you'll see when I post it, the tang broke. I'm going to try and do a little bit of an experiment to put it back together, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm actually going to probably try and use the other one that I made. What I want to do with that one, though, is where the two ends separated, I'm going to grind a groove in both. I'm going to put a bolt or screw or whatever in the space, and I'm going to weld that back in, and I'll weld it on both sides, and then I'll grind it flat so that it won't just be a butt weld. It'll actually have some stability on the inside. It should hold, but I still won't feel comfortable using it as part of the order that the other two are for. So while the one's tempering and I kind of calm down from trying to figure out how to do the other one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a slightly different project. Now, some of you may have seen that I made a little spyglass case, so it has a little lid that comes on top. You can put this on your belt. The spyglass goes inside here. Closed, obviously not open, and a little lid on top. It's got a little pull down. You can hold that on so the lid isn't going to just flop around. And the lid, you know, you pull this up, it comes off, it can hang down, take it out, whatever, do whatever you want. So you can store it in here like that, but if it's sitting up somewhere, it may roll off. Who knows, might not. What I want to do is I'm going to make a little box for it so that when you're not using it, you can put it inside the box. So obviously it's not the box we're going to use. This is a basic template that I made in order to do that. And as you can see, it's a fairly simple template. And a fairly simple design. So the idea is that you just have the front, sides, bottom, back, and lid. That'll sit on top of my leather. I'll trace that out, cut it all out, sew it all together, and it'll be ready to go. I have a neat little clasp that I want to use for the front. That, of course, will have to go on before I do any of the sewing, otherwise it becomes a whole weird issue putting it together. And I'll also probably do that symbol on top. I might do a slightly different one. I'll see what I come up with. So in the meantime, I have to decide what leather I wanted to use. This is a 6-7 ounce leather. It's fairly thick and I know it would hold up pretty well. I also have a 7 to 9 ounce which I think would work well as well. This is a 4 ounce, which will not work well at all. And that's a 2. What I do have, and what I was thinking of, is this is what I use for armor. And this is a 12 ounce. 12 ounce? Where are we here? No, sorry. That's a 10 ounce piece. Now this will make for a fairly thick box. Will take a good carving, will allow me to put the grooves through. So it's just a decision on whether or not I want to use 7 to 9, which is good. I can still get a groove in there. You know what? You can use whichever ones you want. The 7 to 9 is, let's give me real quick here, is looks like 1/8 inch, and this 10 there's no way that that's true. Yeah, is not reading properly because there's no way that that is that much. There we go. Okay, that one's just over an 8. So I could use either one as well. 1/8 being about 3 millimeters. So if you're used to thinking in millimeters, think of it that way. It's a 3 millimeter piece. I think I'm going to use the 7/9. It shouldn't be too much of a variation. Find the piece I want to use. I think right in here. Yes, I know, I'm not really set up for all of this. Just slowly started taking some of this bench back. As you can see, I moved the stuff that I had over there. My stereo is now over there with the one speaker up there, and the other is actually up there behind you. So once I start working on this, I'll go into fast forward mode, and I won't ignore you, but I'm going to put music on and you guys won't hear it anyway. I hear a nice little chirpy buzz. You can decide how your template is going to be if you make one of these boxes. You just got to make sure that you account for the movement, how wide this is. So this is about 3.5 inches in diameter on this part. This part is not. This part's just over 2.5, almost 3. So I had to account for the largest spot, especially with the protrusion of the belt loop. So I gave it 4 inches. That'll allow me to cut my grooves in, keep my box sides away from everything, and still allow a little bit of room for error as need be. The top and lids are going to be the same. I'm going to keep that piece. In this case, this was almost 7 inches long, so I made it 7.5, again to account for the thickness of the leather, as well as give me a little bit of room movement inside the box, so that it's not just going to, jam it in. You can actually, place it inside and not have to worry about forcing it in and out. So I tend to trace on the flesh side, or the suede side. I know some people don't prefer that. They actually trace on the the other side on the smooth side. I don't like doing that, just because if I miss a line or if I make a mistake in my setting up, I've now, you know, ruined that small piece. I have to worry about how to dye it, how to get it set up so that I can cover that instead. I don't know about you, but I don't have extra money or sponsors that can take care of that. All right, so that's the basic outline of the pattern itself. I'm just going to square up my lines with my straight edge and then cut them all out. I'll see you once that's all done. we have gotten this far. Now it's just a matter of lots of sewing. Not a ton, I guess. I mean, it could be worse. It could always be a lot more sewing. What we have here, I'm going to do a cross stitch, X stitch, whatever you want to call it. Start on the back, basically it. And hopefully I've calculated the right amount of thread. I have a tendency of not doing that no matter how many times I do these. Not these so much, but the crosses, you know what I mean. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 more times.